Hi everyone. All right, so my final bear, this is bear number 4 from Franklin and Frannie's carving pumpkin file. I know that I said pumpkin carving party, but I was reading the title. The file is actually carving pumpkins. So we're gonna go ahead and glue this little guy together. And I'm gonna start with his legs. And this here is the perfect bear because I like the thigh gap. Oh, that sounds horrible coming out of my mouth. I know all these girls, I remember when I was working, I had tons come in with incisional infections for getting thigh gap surgery. I don't know, but anyhow, back to my bear. Since it's 5 a.m. I can't, where's my pickup stick? There we go. So I went ahead and cut him out again. Here's the sizing. And bear number 4, my width in Cricut Design Space is 10.25, which makes him about 4.5 inches tall from foot to ear. Once again, that's perfect for me because I do 12 by 12 layouts when I do my own. Don't mind the glitter all over. I made a mess with my glitter when I was working on other pieces. So we're gonna do his legs first. And then it doesn't really matter if you do the body, the ears, the feet. You can kind of find your own rhythm. I don't think I necessarily go in the same manner every single piece just because sometimes I am waiting on other pieces to dry. I'm gonna put his feet on. And this one's a him because I don't see a bow. This is my kind of bear, an alcoholic bear. Well, cider's not alcohol, but if I'm gonna drink it, I'm gonna put some in there. We're just gonna leave that at that. Let me get his foot even. So, working with art glitter glue. If you're new to paper piecing, I do not recommend it. You have no time to shift your pieces. They stick instantaneously. If you are new to paper piecing, I would definitely go with Barely Art Glue, which comes in this bottle. And I do use them all. Or, if you're new to paper piecing, this glue, I got this one at Joann's. I'm sure they sell it everywhere, including Amazon. You have more forgiveness with your paper piecings. And last but not least, I'm gonna give this glue, oh my gosh, did I just do that? Yes, get off. This one here is great, but for some reason when I got them, they're a little chunky, 2 of them out of the 4. So one was watery and 2 were chunky. I'm going to mix them together in another bottle. I don't know if it's just because of how long they sat. So I can't really fault them for that. But either way, even with your Barely Art and your art glitter glue, shake your bottles because they do kind of tend to goop up around the neck if you don't move them around, just from the weather. I know at one point I had read somewhere online, now don't quote me, but somebody said that art glitter glue doesn't ship during cold months because they don't want to ship their product defective because the weather does affect it. This was a while back, but I don't know if that's just through the manufacturer as I get mine from 12 by 12 cardstock shop. So after I did the legs, I did the body, the feet, and then the ear bases. Now I'm going to do the ear pads. And I eyeball it. The left is always bigger than the right unless she mirrored it, which in some cases she does, but you can tell that the ears are 2 different sizes. For my pink little part, I eyeball the pad to tuck behind where the little round of the head will be. You can lay your head over and then place them on under if you're new to paper piecing. And by that, I just mean you can lay your head down and then hold it up and slide it under that way. It's up to you. I'm going to glue his head on, and then I'm going to show you guys what I did. I have to stand up to grab the piece, the tool. So just one moment, please. Here in a second. Let me use my bone folder, make sure Oh, did you guys see that? All right, I'm gonna remake his body and just lay it over. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. That's depressing. So I'm gonna make another body for him before I glue on his arms. I will be right back. All right, before I ripped his head off, I was going to tell you, when you have pieces that are uneven, flip a piece of paper over onto the back and then use your bone folder. That was because he was moist from the glue and probably me just putting a little bit too much pressure. So we're gonna fix him. But I'm actually glad, so you guys can see that we have F-ups and shit happens to everybody. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. It happens. And to fix him, now I know when I was starting, I probably would have said the whole F word and then would have been like, oh, he's going in the trash. But now, no, we're gonna just put him on a new body. He's gonna be extra thick. That's okay. That's why I write my sizes down. All right, now we're gonna do it the way that I was going to tell you guys. When you have an uneven piece of paper, because he is in so many layers, just flip him over, or you don't even have to flip him over. You can just put a piece of paper over him and bone fold. But I decided to be extra and behead him. Yes, I did that. Wowza. I just am in shock and awe that I decided to do that. That's funny. Oh, I gotta grab my little glue dot. Sorry, forgot. In the midst of fixing an error. And you don't have to do this. This is just my preference. This file is actually because we are going to the pumpkin patch this weekend, if everybody's feeling better. And I gotta have bears. Of course I have to have my Franklins for pictures and a layout, which I'll share once I get that far. And I think I already know which paper set I'm going to use. I just have to dig it out of my dream card over there. So let me add the whites to his eyes. I just am still laughing that I was so aggressive. So I don't know what y'all watch when I watch TV. I was actually joking with one of the other girls, one of my friends. Well, actually two of my friends I was telling. And we all watch the same thing, crime shows. My husband at first didn't think it was funny before he married me. He was a little concerned, but I told him, you gotta just be in the know. But some of these people, I tell you, they're just nuts. But I've been watching this trial from Wisconsin. My mom lives in Wisconsin. And it was a Christmas parade. It's just a tragedy. 5 people ran over and passed away, and dozens were injured. And the guy is defending himself. So, and that's crooked. I'm probably gonna have to take that one off just because my hands are acting up a little bit today. Do I want to do it now? Probably, so a repeat. And that's part of why I don't go edge to edge on the glue with the nose, is so I can get it off a little easier by sliding under it. And it does lift off because I'm able to get under the edges. But if I'm unhappy with the white of the nose, and I've tried putting the white of the nose on first, and it doesn't really work for me because the nose is so small. So, yeah, we just fix it. That's it. Let's try it one more time, and then I will show what I did for my apple cider. There we go. I'll let that dry. Let me put his one arm behind him. Let me trim off that little bit of, goodness, the little bit of the under base, the second base. Just so nothing is showing when I glue him down. Let me have that, please. Thank you. Nope, I see a little more. But it's also because when I'm gluing, you know, in front of me so far, well, not, that's probably about a good 6-8 inches, maybe a little more. It looks like it's on evenly, but then you end up catching this. And this is mine, so I'm okay with it. I haven't decided, but hubby wants to go to the pumpkin patch this weekend. And the doctor's already told me I have to wear a mask. They'll test me for COVID once I get to the hospital Monday, which is fine. I already got tested and all right, 5th time's a charm, I guess. I glued his arm on behind. I don't know if the video picked it up. I'll look at it. So what I did is in Cricut Design Space, I used the pen tool and ended up having it draw the letters instead of cutting them out. And then I went over it with a glaze pen. And I posted these on my Facebook. I do have more links if needed, but also I forgot that they do sell the black in 2 packs. And I did buy a couple of those because I forgot actually until I went into my purchase history and I seen that there was 2 packs. And I was like, oh yeah, just because they sit in my shelf. So, and to store them, you lay them on their side. You do not store them up or down, you know, the tip up or down, just on the side. So there is my apple cider jug. Now here comes the fun part. Acetate. Yes, I am that extra. Get off my hand, please. I save the protectors to go over them. I have no fillings in my hands, so bear with me just a moment, please. I can't tell when I have the corners, so I have to use tweezers. And I have to be careful not to scratch it. All right. So, why did I pull it off the back already? I don't, oh yeah, so you guys can see it. So what I used was, I've also posted this on my Facebook. It's in a smaller bottle. You can buy the small bottle, and I have the big bottle, and I refill my small bottle because small bottles work better with my hands. I'm gonna lay this down. Try. Okay, it gets lined up with the bottom. I just had to look. So I applied it to the back and let it dry. That way it's a permanent stick. It won't come off. Now I'm going to put my little cover back on the front just so my fingerprints don't end up all over it. And this is extra. You guys do not have to do this. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the back with the glue. And I'm only going to go where this is covered, where it's covered. And this is so he can stick to my bear, so I will let that dry. And we'll put this aside. Worst case, I'll have to stop the video and let that dry because I forgot about that part. All right. So much for a quick video, huh? What was I thinking? Paper piecing is very time consuming. And I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. So let me fold this in half. This is just my little glue dot, and it's like just to hold it up, and it's gonna sit behind the glass. So this arm, once again, I only glue the upper portion of it, the upper half. That way I can slide whatever I choose to slide under his arm, without ruining the contour of his arm. And my silicone tool, just because I put a little too much close to the edge. That's off. And as soon as that dries, we'll go ahead and place that on him and put his hand on there. And I don't have to wait for it to dry all the way, actually, because it does dry. And the only reason why I let it dry some is so it doesn't end up smearing behind and onto the acetate where it's visible. So I'll fix his face a little bit, add my detail, and then we'll work on adding a little cup in the hand. That'll burn some time here. I was on the phone with hubby in between videos. That's why I'm like, oh, it's 5 o'clock. It was 2 something when I started, but he goes to work early in the morning and he kisses me goodbye religiously every morning, wakes me up, which is okay. I mean, I'm thankful for it. A lot of people don't have that. And he calls me and chit-chats with me while he works. Sometimes it's hard to hear him, but I love him because the thought's there, you know. And we were betting on football teams. He had me pick my teams for the week since tomorrow's the beginning, well, of Thursday night football. So in between the phone call, I went ahead and told him that I was going to record and I would be done in a little bit. And he said, okay. So I'm just adding with my pan pastels some white highlights to his little feet. I do it to his paw and his feet. That's a little too much. I should be using this one because it picks up a lot less. There we go. These tools, these are makeup tools. I posted these as well. If you need the link, let me know. I try to give you guys all of the tools I have, you know, that I utilize for scrapbooking, because they're not all meant for scrapbooking. You won't find them in scrapbooking departments. It's just things over having scrapbook for 20 years. I mean, since my daughter was born, well, 19, she turned 19 yesterday. I just kind of have found things that work and things that just make sense. All right, I'm going to put that away. These should be dry enough for me to go ahead and slide that under. I don't want to touch the back because I don't want my fingerprint on it. So I'm going to lift his arm. And we're just going to slide it in that way. And I know I have some on the back here, and either wipe it off because it's not dry yet, or you can wait until it dries, which is fine. I just did that for some extra reinforcement because his hand is going to be glued onto it right here. If I can get under it. His hand, this one, normally I don't have any issues with cooperation, but He said, wrong answer today, ma'am. All right, and now we will put the other hand on. It's already dry. I'm just gonna do a little extra so it really sticks. And you don't have to use the acetate. You can use, I actually cut out a super, super light blue glass, but I ended up not going with it. So it's just your preference. Like I said, I'm just here to give ideas. I am going to take Nuvo, probably my Nuvo glitter in orange, and just put a light little line above there. But other than that, I'm gonna add my highlights to his ears after I take off the glue from my fingers, and have a good day, guys. I, for some reason, didn't think I was recording, so I just stopped it and restarted it. I apologize. I'm going to glue his arm behind his body. And I did grab the piece that I wanted to show you guys. So the pumpkin cider. What I did is I used the Cricut pen tool, and then I went over